just getting out of the store, and I talked to, well, I didn't talk to anybody, but, well, I kind of did. So, getting out of the store, and I just had probably the rudest cashier I've ever had in my life. It was like a 20-year-old, like, kid, dude, and so it was busy, and I, like, walk over to the stand and go, are you open? You know, because I just want to make sure that he's open before I start putting my stuff down on the conveyor belt. And he's like annoyed. He just kind of looks at me and ignores me. You know, he kind of looks up real quick and then doesn't say anything. And so I walk a little bit closer and I go, are you open? It's like, I know you're working, but the lady next to you just closed up and turned off the light. So I just want to make sure that he was open. And then he goes, and then he like snarkily like responds. He goes, yeah. And I go, okay, well, good. I mean, I'm gonna stay in the line. You know, if you're open, I'm not gonna change lines just because you're a jerk. So, I put my stuff down. And he goes, would you like to buy some bags? I go, yeah, I want like 2 bags. This guy's got like an attitude the whole problem. I don't know what his deal is. I've never seen this guy before in my life. You know, it seems like it's something personal. I don't know. And I go, yeah, and I got, you know, a case of water. So he brings up my stuff. It was like $25. I don't know. It wasn't very much. I didn't get very much stuff. And then he goes, you want your receipt? I'm like, yeah, I want my receipt. You know, I definitely want my receipt after this interaction. I don't trust this moron to ring up everything correctly. So I got my receipt and I left. And moral of the story is, don't be a jerk. Just, you know, don't be a jerk, dude. That's it. That's really the moral of that story. I am back from the store, and you might hear that sizzling in the background, dude, and that's because I am gonna make sausage. Today I am making sausage, and I like to make sausage sandwiches. So BFresh sausage sandwiches today is gonna be yummy. Sausage sandwiches are actually really easy to make. First, I like to grab a pack of New York Company mild Italian sausage. And then I get a griddle and I throw those puppies on the griddle, cook them for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know how long exactly, but we just make sure that they're brown. It's getting kind of smoky in here. Dude, what is going on? Oh, man. Turn down the grill a little bit. Let's see if these things are done. You know, in my old place, the fire alarm used to always go off because I would be cooking and the smoke would just be barreling out, kind of like it is now. My eyes hurt. Alright, we got the mayo and the ketchup on there. Next we're going to throw on some Louisiana hot sauce. Just a little bit. We just want to give it a little bit of flavor. Not a whole lot. Then we're going to take 2 pieces of cheese and we're going to throw the cheese on there. Boom. Alright, we got our bread ready. So now we just need to put some meat on it. there it is. There's that sausage sandwich. Alright, you guys, so I'll admit this probably isn't the best looking sandwich. Even today, when this probably isn't a great representation of how it looks, but this thing is so delicious. They're usually really good when I make them, at least. They don't always look great, but they are generally really good. So we're gonna go ahead and try this. Oh my God. See, I wanted to show you this because of how good that is. That is so good. I have to limit myself. I try to make maybe one a week if I can. These are so good. All right, you guys, so just finishing up some food and now watching the Warriors and the Houston Rockets square off in the playoffs. Game 7, series is tied at 3-3. Both teams are playing in Houston, and it looks like the Warriors are going to take this one. Go Warriors, I'm rooting for them. They're up by 10. There's only about 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. So, yeah, this one's pretty much over. Pretty much over here. Oh, dude, Fred VanVleet just pushed Jimmy Butler. Pure frustration foul. Just pushed him in the back. And because he was mad because the ball got turned over. And so they're running back. The Rockets or the Warriors are on, running it back, about to slam it, and VanVleet just pushes Jimmy Butler in the back, pushes him down. So, that's going to be probably a flagrant foul. This game, the Rockets are done. This is a series that they should have won as a number 2 seed, but, they kind of got ousted by the Warriors, who have a little bit more playoff experience. And the Warriors have now won 5 series against the Rockets in the playoffs. So, the Warriors own the Rockets in the playoffs. Also, I didn't record this, but I wanted to mention this because obviously she was a part of my channel a while back. But I don't know if you remember Leanne. We made videos back in 2016, I think it was. And, I made a video about her a month ago. I'll post the link if I remember what it is. And, she's not in a good spot right now. But it was her birthday this past week. And so, while I'm trying to distance myself from her and, not get, dragged into that lifestyle, it was her birthday, and I did reach out, said happy birthday, and, just asked what she was doing and whatnot. And so she said thank you for the happy birthday. And she's like, I would really like a turkey sandwich. So I said, you know what? I will bring you a turkey sandwich. So I did. I got a bag, put a bag together. I got her a foot-long turkey Subway sandwich and a couple beers and some water. And, she was sleeping out front. She said she was going to be out front of the old newspaper building factory. And so I told her it would be a few hours. I had some errands to run and whatnot. So I went and did all that, ran some errands. I got home and I was just honestly, I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. I was really kind of thinking whether I should actually bring her food, and just get sucked into that whole thing again. And so then she called me, and it sounded like she was crying, and she was asking where I was. And so I told her I'd be there in like 10, 15 minutes. And so it was probably more like 20 or 30 because I had to go to Subway and buy a turkey, and buy a turkey sandwich, not a turkey. And so I bought a turkey, sub. And then I went over to the old newspaper building. She was laying down in, I think, a sleeping bag out front of the building. That's where she was camping out for the night. So I got there, gave her, her care package, as you might say, and she gave me back one of the beers. Like, she was like, "Yeah, have a beer with me." I'm like, "No, sorry, I can't." And so I just dropped it off, and that was it. She did call me the next day and asked for a really big favor. She wanted me to buy her cigars, but I said no. And or no, I didn't say no. Sorry, that is not true. I did not say no. What I did was I said I was busy and I could in a few hours. But I was busy. It wasn't a lie. I wasn't, cigars are like $2. I didn't mind, but I was just busy with other stuff. And by the time I had, gotten around to, was available to bring her cigars, it was already too late. She had probably got the money by then. I'm guessing she was panhandling or something. And so I think she bought them on her own. So just a little Leanne update right there. I do want to maybe get some footage with her because, if I look back in 20 years at this channel and look back at these vlogs, I'd like to get a picture, because I'm not going to remember. So we'll see if that happens. Hit the like button if you want to see that. Otherwise, that's okay too. I'm probably just going to do it anyways. But if you hit the like button, if you'd like to see that happen, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell, get notified when I put out new videos. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.